The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your SuperChats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
How can the Jets get their quarterback? How much is too much to trade up in the NFL draft? We'll be discussing that and much more when Ryan Sampson from the Gangs All Here podcast with the New York Post joins us. It's the Jake Asman Show live on a Wednesday. Let's hit it and get it started.
Guys, we always say this, and it's always going to be pretty. I got one game ball.
Let's keep it going next week.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go. Here on a Wednesday, we're presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Jets and the Jaguars on Sunday, and the latest line has moved. The Jets are now a 12.5-point underdog Sunday in Jacksonville. Hard to believe, but that's the state of affairs for our football team. For more on the state of the Jets, we say hello to a good friend of the program. He runs all the podcasts over at the New York Post, including where he is the co-host of the Gangs All Here podcast with Frankie V and Jets beat reporter Brian Costello. It's our guy, Ryan Sampson, who joins us now. Ryan, happy Wednesday. Only 4 games left in this miserable Jets season. How we feeling?
Happy Wednesday, Jake. It's been a while since we caught up. What a wild year for the Jets that has turned completely dark for us as fans. And I appreciate you always for inviting me on here, but at the same time, I appreciate you continuing to do Jets content in these dark times, because this team has done it to themselves. This coaching staff, this front office, this ownership group, they've all done it to themselves. And I think, I had a moment last Sunday. I'm sorry to, before we really get into this, but last Sunday I was watching the game with my future father-in-law, who is a diehard Jets fan as well and former season ticket holder, and his cousin, who was a season ticket holder as well for 20 plus years. They both stopped doing season tickets back in 2006, 7, whatever, what have you, before the Jets got good again with Mangini, and then obviously with Rex and the 09, 010 seasons. They looked at me and they go, Ryan, we love your content. We love watching your stuff. But at the same time, I don't know how you're going to be able to talk about this team anymore. And it's true, Jake. Like, I don't know how much more we can talk about it. I mean, people are trying to find storylines with this quarterback situation. We'll find out more today from Aaron Glenn. We'll do a Gangs All Here today with Kaz and Frankie after we hear from Aaron Glenn about the quarterback situation. But like, it's gotten to the point now where, as a Jets fan, we've been so beaten down and the season has really, really taken a turn that there's nothing really positive about this team, in my opinion, moving forward, besides the offseason talk, besides the fact that they have all these picks to look forward to. There is nothing on this roster that I really can look at and say, I'm really excited about that, besides the offensive tackles. Like, that's it. That's the only thing I really care about. But in terms of what I'm looking forward to the rest of this season, I could not care less about the product on the field. And that's a problem, in my opinion, with this franchise, that they have beaten down a lot of their fan base with the product they put on the field.
It's been as disappointing of a year as I could remember, and we've had a lot of these. But it just feels like maybe there's more apathy this year than any year, because there's not even like a young quarterback on the team that you could point to, like what the Giants have with Jackson Dart, where it's like, hey, you're not winning, but at least he's exciting and you want to see him get better and improve. You really have nothing, which is why I don't know where you stand at this point, but I'm totally okay with just losing these last 4 and hopefully finishing with a top 4 pick. So,
well, I think
you maybe don't have to trade up and give up as much if you're going to try and get one of these quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think there's no right or wrong answer when it comes to the whole rooting for wins, rooting for losses for football teams. Like, as a fan, it sucks rooting for your team to lose. Like, you don't want that. And as professional athletes, and I've been around enough of them, they don't want to lose. Like, they don't care about losing. And I know fans hate hearing that, but it's the truth. Like, those guys, they're playing their asses off. Like, they're putting their bodies on the line. it's a tough enough game as it is for them to get up and play on Sundays. I know they're getting paid a ton of money to do it, but at the same time, like they're putting their bodies at risk every week. Every week. I will say this though. The Jets last weekend looked so bad, Jake, in my opinion, they look like the worst team in football. I think they've officially reached that point since Tyrod's out, and they went to an undrafted rookie in a horrible situation for him, considering the guy has gotten zero practice time with the starters. He's never really been in this offense. He hasn't had any time to actually learn what this offense is and what he's going to be doing in that situation. They are, without a doubt, the worst football team, in my opinion, right now in the NFL. So I don't think you have to worry about them winning football games the rest of the way. I think we've reached that critical point now, Jake, where you've seen the defense really look bad now, and they give up a lot of yards, and they don't look good at tackling. They don't look good at pursuing the runner. They don't look good at sacking the quarterback. They obviously don't take the ball over because they don't create any turnovers, which is still insane to me that they have 0 interceptions. They don't do anything well defensively. They do nothing well, and no one's getting better defensively, mind you. And you have traded away Sauce and Quinn, your 2 best defenders. So if you're really, really bad defensively, and offensively, you're going to rely on an undrafted rookie or an often injured backup in Tyrod Taylor and Justin Fields, who mentally seems checked out this year. All of that is a bad formula, in my opinion, where you are the worst team in football. And what we saw the first 7 to 8 weeks of the season wasn't a mirage. And while they may have said we've been competitive in a lot of one-score games, they might try to be in one-score games the rest of the season, Jake, but I do not see another win on this schedule, even with that Saints game coming up, because they at least have a young, promising rookie in Tyler Shough, who actually looked good against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I have no fears. Like, if they win a game, they win a game. They have enough draft ammo now, Jake, to the point where I don't give a crap about the tank or not tank. They have enough ammo to move up if they want. But at the end of the day, I think they are the worst football team in the NFL right now, because at least the Titans showed some life this past week against the Cleveland Browns. The Jets are showing no life right now.
I think it really depends on who the quarterback is, right? Like, if you tell me it's Brady Cook and not Tyrod, you could argue they are certainly the worst team in the league. It will be fascinating to see how it ultimately shapes out, Ryan, because if the Jets do finish, let's say 3-14, which right now you'd have to say is certainly on the table, given the schedule coming up, given the fact that their only quote winnable game left might be the Saints, who, as you brought up, are playing better. If they finish 3-14, how high could they get in the draft? And then who are the teams that are potentially picking in front of them? Ideally, it's the Giants and the Titans, because the Raiders need a quarterback. And, I don't care what you offer them. There's a chance they might just say, hey, we want Mendoza. We want more. We don't care what you're offering. We're going to take one of them. But I'm at a point now, Ryan, where like I don't think any of these wins are going to matter for like this team going forward. And what I mean by that,
right?
Like the eye test told me, hey, they were playing a lot better. They won 3 of 5. And then to me, all that almost goes out the window when you play as poorly as they did against Miami this past Sunday.
Completely.
I think you lose everyone at that point. So I think we just need to get through these last 4. Hope they're picking as high as possible. And it makes it easier for Darren Mugen to navigate the draft board to get one of these quarterbacks.
No, I hear you completely, Jake. It doesn't do them any service for winning these games. But at the end of the day, Aaron Glenn has to do what's best for him. And what's best for him is to try to keep this locker room somewhat.
Oh, yeah. They're going to try and win. I'm not saying they're going to lose on purpose.
But I think that's where we get in these ridiculous arguments between fan groups and whatnot. Like, they should be tanking. They shouldn't be winning. These wins don't mean anything. It's like, I got it.
We can't control it, though. It's not like
can't control it.
Yeah. People act like how we root influences like what happens on the field. It has no impact.
But I know that we've seen this. They have the most draft ammo for the next 2 years. They have so much maneuverability as a franchise, whether or not they want to move up or they want to move back. If the quarterback class is only one quarterback this year, then you're not worried, because I wouldn't force it, Jake. Like, I understand Mendoza is the guy, because you don't know what's going on with Dante Moore. You don't know what's going on with Ty Simpson, and you don't really trust those guys to be the top quarterbacks this year. If it's only Fernando Mendoza and you have the Raiders in front of you, and who knows what the hell is going on with the Cleveland Browns situation, will the Saints stick with Tyler Shough? You don't know. There's so many question marks there. I would say, in my opinion, don't sacrifice future picks, because this Jets team is devoid of talent. They need talent everywhere. The defense is horrible. It's horrible. They need players on all three levels, Jake, and you know this. They need players at the linebacker position, which is crazy, even though they gave Jamie Sherwood a huge contract extension. He looks lost in this defense. They need linebackers. They need defensive interior linemen. They need edge rushers because Will McDonald looks absolutely horrendous the last couple of weeks. And you know they need another corner and 2 safeties. So the Jets defense needs a ton of help, and there is a lot of talent in this class. I wouldn't be so keen on, yeah, let's go trade up for Fernando Mendoza when I'm not sold on him. Like, to be frank, I am not. I am not sold on Fernando Mendoza being the next Peyton Manning, Trevor Lawrence, whatever, number 1 pick coming out, where it's like, that's the guy. That's the sure thing. Like, I'm not willing to sacrifice multiple picks when this team needs a ton of talent. And when you're telling me a lot of these quarterbacks are going to be coming out next year, I'd rather focus on next year. And I know that's hard to hear and hard to say, but that's the harsh reality that's really coming over me as a fan right now, Jake, where we're looking at a really dark 2026 again because there's not going to be a quarterback solution unless they go with a veteran option that you get excited about, like a Jameis Winston, who I know is signed under contract for the Giants, but like that type of situation where it's a veteran quarterback option that can give you some excitement and maybe play well with Garrett Wilson and Adonai Mitchell and John Mechie. But I think you have to try and get as much talent as possible on this roster. The Lions did it with Jared Goff. They traded for their quarterback. They didn't draft him, and they kept taking good players in the draft. Penei Sewell, Brian Branch, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jamison Williams. They went after and got talented players. So if Aaron Glenn's going to follow that Lions model, Jake, you have to keep those picks. And I don't care about wins or losses the rest of this year. Try and get as many good players as possible in the draft. I think that's the smart way to go about it. But for all we know, Jake, they're going to trade up and they're going to sacrifice all these picks. We're going to be pissed off because the Jets are going to end up with 1 pick this year and 1 pick next year. And you're going to be relying on Fernando Mendoza to truly be the savior of your franchise. And I think that's a scary proposition. But you got to do what you got to do, right? If you love the quarterback.
Well, here's the thing. I think there's a fine line to what you're saying, because I think you're looking at it from like an extreme standpoint. Oh, we're not going to have any of the picks. I think, Ryan, that's why if they lose out and they're sitting there with the 3rd pick in the draft, it doesn't cost a ton.
It doesn't cost as much, right? But you're still relying on everyone else to do good things for you, like win a couple of games here.
Well, you need some luck involved, right? Like,
correct.
You need the Raiders to not be at 1, because if the Raiders love Fernando Mendoza, and that's also who you like, I don't care what you offer them, they're going to take that player.
Correct.
I think there's a fine line with what you're willing to give up. Like, I'm willing to trade the Colts pick and one of my 2nd rounders over the next 2 years to move up. Like, I think if you love one of these quarterbacks, you got to be willing to move up and trade some assets to get said guy. That's why you have 5 1s over the next 2 years. That's why you have the 2 2s this year, and you have your own 2 the following year. Like, I think they are going to be aggressive to try and move up. And even if they are aggressive, I mean, you can see the list here. Look at the notable draft picks they own over the next 2 years. You could trade some of these and still have a boatload of additional picks after that. Plus, if you preserve the 2027 first rounders, I had this conversation with Mike Tannenbaum on my radio show last week. If you're a smart GM, Darren Muji could take one of those 27 first-round picks a year from now, and he could flip that into recouping some of the capital they had traded up the prior year to go and get Mendoza or Dante Moore, whoever they fall in love with when it's all said and done. So the one thing I don't see happening is them to have like this bridge quarterback and punt on QB till 27, because I just think there's such a risk if you're Aaron Glenn and Muji and waiting till 2027. Are they guaranteed to be able to make that pick if they wait that long? And then if they do, Ryan, say they make that pick in 27, they take Julian Sayin or whoever. Yeah. Okay, well, they got to win in year 3 with a rookie. That's tough to do. Look at Brian Dable with Jackson Dart. He couldn't save his job.
No, I hear you, Jake. But also at the same time, what I'll say to you is that if there's the Raiders situation, because guess what? The Raiders are playing the Giants. The number 1, number 2 teams are playing each other in a couple weeks, which will be a big
Go Raiders. Go
big
Raiders.
Swift. It's going to be a big change in what I don't know, man. Like, I'll say this. If the Raiders do end up saying, like, we're taking Mendoza no matter what, you can't trade up to get him. So you're kind of in the bridge quarterback situation. So
unless you like Dante Moore. That's the big question.
That's if he comes out.
Which I think he will, but that's obviously the unknown.
But we don't know that, right? Like, we don't know that. Like,
we'll know January 15th if he's coming out or not.
If he comes out, I'd be more than excited about Dante Moore. Super athletic. He needs some maturing, and he does need to sit behind a veteran. Like, don't rush him. Like, don't give him the starting job day 1 like they did with Zach Wilson. You got to sit Dante Moore. I'm not saying he's Zach Wilson, but sit Dante Moore behind a veteran quarterback and let him learn a little bit of professional to be a professional quarterback. But yeah, man, if there's two quarterbacks, I think the Jets are in a great spot. If there's one quarterback only coming out though, which is just Mendoza, again, that's the situation scenario I'm laying out here where I am not giving up a lot of picks for Mendoza.
What is the most you'd give up though, right? Like, would you be willing to trade that Colts pick? Because I would. I think that's the key to any
that Colts
trade-up.
pick's going to be a top 15 pick or
Right.
almost top
But
18 pick.
But if
why
you
would I give that up?
Well, because that's how you get your quarterback if you give that up, and then you preserve your 2027 first rounders where you'd have 3 of them.
Right, but then all right.
Isn't that why you made the Sauce and Quinnen deals in the first place, to have these extra picks?
I also think the Jets know that they need a lot of talent too. Like that's my thing. Like,
but wouldn't they still have a lot of picks? Plus, they have $100 million in cap space. Like, if
they have $100 million cap space, but you know me, like, don't sign all of your holes through free agency. That's never.
I think you do both. I think the Patriots
do both.
Have their defense and free agency, and they obviously also built through the draft with some picks. I just think there's a limit to what I'd be willing to trade up. But do you think the Jets finish 3-14? You said they're the worst team in the league.
I do think they finished 3-14, especially if Brady Cook, who might get named the starter. I'm not reporting anything. If Brady Cook gets named the starter today, though, they're going 3-14. Like, even if Tyrod comes back against the Saints, like, I don't see. That's the other thing. Like, people, and we could change the topics in a second. Like, we could talk about Adonai Mitchell and Mechie, but for me, they're going to finish 3-14 the rest of this year. I don't think they're winning another game this year.
They're picking either 3 or 4 in all likelihood if they finish 3-14.
Even with the strength of schedule.
Yeah, that'd be like factoring all that in. So even if they're
and let's say the Giants beat the Raiders though, and because I do think the Giants are going to win a game or two here. They got the Commanders and the Raiders coming up here on the schedule, and Jackson Dart has kept the Giants in a lot of games when they play worser teams. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like what Jackson Dart does, and I'd be interested to see if the Giants can reel off a win or two here at the end of the year too.
I just think at the end of the day, whether it's the Commanders or it's the Giants or it's the Titans, let's say for the sake of this, one of those teams is at number 1. They're in a prime position, even if they traded that Colts pick, which I would trade in 2 seconds if it means I got to keep my 3 1s.
Yeah, if you keep your 3 1s for next year, then I'm cool with that.
But that's what it would be. Like, every mock that we've gone through, whether it be the Matt Miller mock, whether it be the Dane Brugler mock, where
you're talking about if the Jets are at 7 still. Because if you're at 3 trading up to 1, it should not cost you 2 first-round picks.
Well, I mean, if you're at – so there was a mock from Field Yates today where the Jets –
I saw that. From 7 to 1, though.
And they traded the Colts pick and a second
rounder.
That
makes sense because you're going up 6 spots. But if I look back at what the Jets did with the Sam Darnold year, they went from 6 to 3 second-round picks. It does not cost you another first-round pick. So if anything, Jake, I'd trade next year's second, the Dallas one, or my second this year. It shouldn't take you as much, including your first in your first pick. It shouldn't cost you as much if you end up with a third or fourth pick by the end of the season.
I just don't think that's a ton to give up.
No,
if you're the Jets and you're in a spot where it only costs you 1 additional first round pick, and I rather trade, I think, one of the picks in 27 than the Colts pick. But if they insisted on the Colts pick, I think that's the key to any trade, because the only other team that has similar capital for this year and a potential trade up is Cleveland, because they own the Jags pick. But the Jets owning the Colts pick, I think, will be significantly higher than Jacksonville, which might be, after pick 18 if they make the playoffs. So,
and the Colts might be in trouble next year too, considering look at what they're doing. They're relying on a 44-year-old retired quarterback to come out this year, and next year you're talking about Daniel Jones coming off an Achilles injury. So, yeah, it's I would definitely try to keep those picks next year in 2027, because you have no idea what happens to the Cowboys too. Cowboys can have a Dak Prescott injury, whatever, what have you. Like, you don't know what's going to happen next year. This year, listen, if you finish 6 or 7 and you had to give up that other Colts pick, it's going to hurt. But like you said, if you're convinced that's your guy. Fully build around him, though, Jake. Go all in around him.
Well, what gives me some hope, Ryan, is the fact that, for a team that stinks, which the Jets certainly do, they actually are in a position here where, because of the fact that they have bookend left and right tackle already in place, and they do have a number 1 wide receiver, they have a decent tight end, Mason Taylor. I think they're going to bring back Brees. You're not starting from nothing. Like, if you're Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn and you can't fill out your team around Mendoza or Moore, whoever the quarterback is, with the amount of cap space they have, the players they already do have in place, and still the premium assets they would have even after this hypothetical trade up, they're not very good at their jobs if that's the case, and they won't be here anyway. So I'm actually encouraged because if they do finish with 3 wins, like you said, I think they're going to be in prime position to not only get their quarterback, but they still would have a lot left over after this hypothetical trade to surround their roster with the talent that quarterback would need. So, like, I think they're okay, right? I don't think I don't think it has to be get the quarterback. We have nothing around them, or surround the roster and not have the quarterback.
I'll say this. So this was the other thing I wanted to hit on. And I love Jets fans because they're like me. They're nonsensical sometimes when they see things, because even a moment or a glimpse of success, it's like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. And I know you feel the same way, Jake. But at the same time, the John Mechie and Adonai Mitchell hype train that was going on the first couple weeks after they came here was insane. Like, look, I've seen wide receivers have really good games here, like 1 or 2 game stretches where it's like, oh man, did the Jets find themselves a great receiver and Braxton Berrios? Like, calm down. Adonai Mitchell and John Mechie, there's a reason they were traded. And you've seen it the last couple weeks with the drops. I am convinced that they are wide receiver 4s and 5s. They're not 2s and 3s. Like, that's where I think everyone needs to slow their roll. Yes. Are they great depth pieces? Absolutely. Adonai Mitchell can be your speedster downfield where he can stretch the field and you throw the ball deep to him. But you need a true X receiver to play with Garrett Wilson as your Y slot receiver, Y position receiver. So I think the Jets need to get themselves another receiver in this draft, a high draft pick receiver. And this is a very good wide receiver talent class coming up here in the draft. So I would be excited if the Jets can get a wide receiver early in this draft to pair, let's say, if they do get Mendoza, because then you're talking about a young receiver, your young quarterback with Garrett Wilson and Mason Taylor, who's young as well, with Brees and Braylon and Isaiah Davis. Yeah, buddy, sign me up for that. And then use the cap space, for God's sakes, to get a real center and to get some beef at the guard position. I love Joe Tittman. I love what he does in the run game, but in the pass game, he's a little weak, I think, against the stronger defensive tackles. Simpson is not great in pass blocking. He's better in run blocking, but the Jets need some beef in the middle of that offensive line. I think they have their 2 franchise tackles, which is amazing that they got that, but they need some beef in the middle, in my opinion, to help protect the interior of, especially for a quarterback like, let's say if they do end up in Mendoza, he is not flight of foot. He's not going to be a scrambler. So you're going to need to have some real protection in front of him. You don't want to see him have a progression like a CJ Stroud, where year 1 looks great, and then he gets beaten and battered. And by year 2 and 3, you start having question marks about, is CJ really the guy anymore? Like, he doesn't look the same compare. So I don't want to see a rookie quarterback getting the life beat out of him like the Jets also did with Sam Darnold, where it's like, protect your young man. The offensive line is the most important thing. Use that cap space, like you talked about, $100 million in cap space. Sign the best guards and centers that you can and get some depth, and make sure the interior of that offensive line is going to protect and can really help the run game as well. Because I think there's another element of this game from Brees and Braylon that can be taken to that next step once the Jets figure out the quarterback situation, which they have not done in my entire lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, that's really where it starts. But you look at what they have going into the offseason. I mean, so much of it will come down to the draft order and how many quarterbacks actually are first round graded guys that they deem worthy of it. I mean, Ty Simpson could easily have a good playoff run here and play himself back into the
who I liked a lot this year, by the way. Like, I was a big Ty Simpson guy all year, but then since Halloween, it's been like, woof, man, like, you need to go back to college and play some more football. I don't know, man. Like, yeah, he could go on a crazy run here in the playoffs, and then everyone's like, you know what? Maybe it's just a guy who's starting for the first time in his 4 years in college, and he's experienced the highs and lows, Jake, of what it's like being a starting quarterback. I don't think Alabama is like the normal Alabama we've seen in previous years, where they have great run game and great weapons all around him. So, yeah, I think, Ty Simpson's a fun quarterback to watch, but I still think he needs some more seasoning. And we'll see what happens with Dante Moore if he comes out. It will definitely help the Jets, in my opinion, if those guys come out, to give them more options and flexibility if they like more than just Mendoza. But I know you've seen the reports. It seems like they're all in on Mendoza. Like, they love the guy. They love his build, his character, the fact that he can run a professional style offense. Seems like a good leader in that locker room. I don't know, man. There's a lot to we're still December 10th. We have 4 games to watch this crappy product on the field before it finally ends. And then we really get excited to find out more about where the hell this Jets team is going in the offseason.
Couple minutes left with Ryan Sampson. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Yesterday, I had to end the show early, so we didn't get a chance to do our daily raffle. However, if you entered yesterday, you're already qualified. And I said I'd up the prize because we didn't get a chance to do a raffle. End of the show today. How about a signed 8x10 photo of Wayne Corbett scoring an iconic touchdown at the old Giant Stadium? So if you win, this is the photo that will be sent to you. Make sure you enter the raffle. Paolo was the first to do it today. He became a channel member, earning himself one raffle ticket. Joe the Jet with a super chat. Do you think the Raiders get the number 1 pick? I think they could. It really could come down to Raiders, Giants. Can the Raiders beat the Giants? If they do, there's an avenue for the Jets to squeak in front of the New York Giants for the number 1 pick. I think you look at the Raiders schedule, that to me is their most winnable game that they have left here.
I agree. Do I think the Raiders end up with the number 1 pick though? Yeah, I kind of have this feeling that they do.
Here's their schedule, Ryan. It's at Eagles, at Texans, home Giants, home Chiefs.
Loss. Yeah, they're going to end up with the number 1 pick.
It comes down to that Giants game.
Yeah, that Titans win was big for us. Well, not big. I mean, like, yeah, Vegas is going to end up with the number 1 pick.
Titans finish with at Niners, home Chiefs, home Saints, at the Jaguars. So Titans Saints has major ramifications.
If Saints rattle off 2 more wins, that's going to push the Jets up to that 3rd pick probably.
Right, because
one
of those wins would be against the Jets that they'd have.
Right, and then the Giants, if they beat the Raiders, they'll give them a 3rd win as well with their strength of schedule of 534. Yeah.
It comes down to the Giants-Raiders game, as I've been.
It comes down to the Giants-Raiders game is what I was saying. Like, that's going to be the pivotal game, and the Jets-Saints game, in my opinion. Those 2 games are going to be the most important in terms of where the Jets end up in this draft order. But again, it's all folly if Dante Moore comes out, Jake, I think you have a really good chance of getting him. But then again, that's if the Jets like him. That's also another question mark. Like,
yeah, or the Raiders like him, and then Mendoza's there for the Jets. So
right,
so many unknowns.
There's so many unknowns. Like, we're playing so many of these scenarios in my head. Let me ask you a question. Do you think they go with Brady Cook this week?
I think they should. What's the purpose of going back to Justin Fields or Tyrod Taylor?
I don't think Justin Fields. Call me crazy. I don't think he wants to play with the Jets anymore this year. And I mean,
based on him saying that he won't, he doesn't want to be a part of Wildcat packages.
Correct.
The fear of a soft tissue injury.
And then he pops up with a knee injury on Friday for an
knee
injury
soreness.
Yeah, knee soreness. I'm not buying that for 1 second. I think that's him and his agent telling the Jets, thank you, but no thank you. We'll gladly take your post-June 1st cut next year, and we'll go find somewhere else to play. I don't want to risk, especially with his playing style, Jake, where he runs the ball a ton and he's more prone to get hurt. I don't think they want to take that risk the last 4 weeks of the season and him getting banged up. And then let's say, God forbid, he tore something in his knee, he'd be out all next year, and that loses him some money where it's like they're doing the thing that's best for them, not for the team, which again goes to, I think, something Frankie and Kaz have talked so much about on Gangs All Here, which you all should be watching on the New York Post Sports YouTube channel. I'll plug that right now. Fields is not a leader. He's not a good leader. And that's something Frankie is questioning. Kaz is like, is this guy actually a leader? It's clear as day. Like, he's not that guy.
So you start Brady Cook then?
I'm starting Brady Cook because I don't think
Tyrod than lose with Fields or Tyrod. And God forbid you win a game with those guys. There's no point.
If Tyrod's healthy, I'm playing him because you need to have some kind of semblance of an offense, and you don't want to hurt everyone out there, because I do think Brady Cook is going to hurt some guys out there just because undrafted rookies do not start in the NFL their rookie year. Like Kaz, I think, went and looked back. It's like, it's a long time. So this is crazy that this kid could potentially be starting this week. If Tyrod's at least somewhat healthy, I think they put him out there, but I don't think we see Justin Fields out in the field again the rest of the season.
I certainly hope not. Last one for you here. Joe the Jet writes in, if Kyler Murray is the quarterback next year, kill me.
I said this to my bosses here at the Post, and I'm going to say this to you and all of your fans as well. If Kyler Murray is the Jets quarterback next year, I am no longer a Jets fan.
Wow.
Point blank. I am ending my Jets fandom. I'm telling you right now, Jake.
What's your dream scenario for quarterback next year, Ryan? Is it Mendoza or Moore, one of the guys in the draft?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to have one. I would love to have Mendoza. I would love to have more. But if they go the route of the veteran quarterback, taking on that contract, taking on that moron of a quarterback who doesn't love football, doesn't want to be on the field, doesn't care about his teammates, isn't a leader, hasn't proven to be successful in the NFL. All he does is just make really good plays with his legs, is undersized, doesn't compete. What part of that does Aaron Glenn like as a quarterback trait? If you're signing up for that, I'm done. You clearly lost me as a fan, and you don't understand how to run a football franchise. And I truly think, Jake, we are in the darkest of dark timelines if they go with Kyler Murray as their quarterback. You're signing up to be the worst team. It's going to get ugly here if Kyler Murray's the quarterback. That guy couldn't handle New York's media. I'm telling you right now, man. He's a head case. You don't want any part of that. And he's not even that good. He's not even that good. He is a slightly better version of Justin Fields who can throw the ball. He doesn't love football. Like, what? I don't understand what part people don't understand that. Don't go near that. And if that happens, Jake, I am ending my fandom for this franchise, which has been my whole life. I will gladly walk away from this franchise and never have to stress about it again because they do it to themselves. And that, to me, would be the worst mistake they've ever made. Worst.
Kyler Murray to the Jets, and Ryan Sampson is out on his Jet fandom.
Good luck to you, man. I'll watch you, but good luck to you. You're not going to like it at all. I'm telling you right now.
I mean, I don't want Kyler Murray. The only scenario where I'd be open to Murray, and again, I don't want him, is if he's released, so you're not taking on that contract. Like, he's brought in with another veteran and a rookie, and you're having like a legit competition for that rookie to have to earn the job against Kyler Murray. That'd be the only way.
So on a vet minimum?
Yeah, like, where you're not, it doesn't cost you anything. Like, there's no way I'm acquiring that contract. I'm not
acquiring the contract and giving up assets. I'm out.
Yeah, if you're paying him nothing and he's part of a quarterback room with Mendoza or more, all right, I at least understand what they're trying to do. You're going to give Kyler a chance to play so the rookie hopefully could sit most of the year. That's the only
crack the door
scenario.
open. I'm cracking the door open right now. That's the only way you can keep me in the Jets fandom is if Kyler Murray's a vet minimum starter like Russell Wilson. I don't trust the guy. A guy who doesn't love football, like, I'm good, man.
Yeah, it's tough.
You don't want that as your quarterback.
Last one for me, Ryan, because I know you got to run. You were a big Aaron Glenn guy when they first hired him. I know you and I, we spoke a lot in the offseason, and you were certainly way more optimistic about the Jets going into the year than I was. A year in, not even a year in, give us your confidence level in Aaron Glenn and this staff going forward. I mean, has this year done severe damage to your belief in AG as the guy? Give us your thoughts on him going forward.
It's definitely done severe damage. I was, probably at a 9 in terms of 1 to 10, my confidence in Aaron Glenn, and hopefully he could be that guy. I would say I'm probably at a 2, maybe a 3, just because this season, like you said, has gone way worse than I think any of us could have thought. No one had this team being a 3-win team or even a 4-win team if they end up with 4 wins. And I think ultimately there's going to be a lot of question marks about this coaching and his coaching staff that he's assembled. I think he's done brilliant things in one aspect. Chris Banjo. That was an absolute home run hire. If Jets fans have one thing they can watch that's positive too, besides the offensive tackles, watch what they're doing on special teams with Chris Banjo, special teams coach. He's young. He comes from the Mike Westhoff coaching tree, which is incredible that Glenn was able to pluck him from the New Orleans Saints back in his days when he was there. That was real talent that he found. But I have question marks about Steve Wilkes, who I think is going to get fired at the end of the year no matter what. I think he needs to find a new defensive coordinator. I have questions about this offensive coordinator, Tanner Engstrand. Obviously, the quarterback situation is not good at all. It's probably the worst in the NFL. But at the same time, I have question marks about his play calling situation. And then the things that Aaron Glenn had messaged to you and I, Jake, and all the fans, but when he took the job, I'm here to win. This is my job. What are Jets fans gonna be proud of when we win? But then I didn't say now. Like the changing of his terms, like that to me, it's like you got clowned, admit you got clowned, and move on and take your lumps. I think he's learned clearly from someone telling him, and I know this has been reports from Samini, and I've heard Rick DiPietro talk to people, like Glenn's getting coached from some of his mentors, like stop fighting the media and stop being so combative. To me, when you come on the podium and tell us Will McDonald is special and what more can you get out of him, and you just say it's coaching. by taking a dump on the previous coaching staff. And now Will McDonald is Pro Football Focus's worst rated edge rusher in terms of defending the run. Edge player against defending the run. He's the worst. That's coaching. What are you doing, Aaron Glenn, to fix that? And what are you doing to get this quarterback situation right? Because you chose Justin Fields. You chose to go with that quarterback room. And you chose to go with that wide receiver room to go with it. There's a lot of question marks about Aaron Glenn in terms of his style, his motivation, and the fact that he couldn't get his team going against the Miami Dolphins team this past weekend. I have a lot of question marks about Aaron Glenn. There's so many question marks about him.
Again, it felt like, they were playing better. They won 3 of 5. And then it all kind of feels like all the progress is just gone when you show up and play that way against a division opponent. It's like, what did you really do the previous games? You just beat backup quarterbacks, and then you had a chance to finally win a division game, beat Tua for the first time, and you're down 21-0 before you can get comfortable on your couch on Sunday.
I do wonder if he makes a change before the end. I don't think he'll fire Wilkes before the end of the season, but there's no way you can keep that guy in the offseason. You have to make a change. Like, there's nothing that Steve Wilkes brings to this defensive scheme that is outstanding, that is good, that is something positive. And by the way, the young players like a Will McDonald, Jamie and Sherwoods of the world, right? I mean, none of these players have gotten better. Malachi Moore has not gotten better. Azri Thomas has not gotten better. The linebackers, Kiko, not gotten better. None of these players have gotten better under your tutelage. So what exactly do you do? And that's really where you have to question yourself, Aaron Glenn, and then your defensive coordinator that you picked in Steve Wilkes. And it's time to make a change. Go get Jim Leonard. Go get a real defensive coordinator, man. Go get someone that's young and hungry like a Chris Banjo and wants to make this team good and wants to be get these guys going, because you have to be aggressive on defense. So I got so many question marks about this guy. He's definitely lost my trust as a coach. He has to prove it to me. If he gets his quarterback in the draft, he'll have my full support, and then show me you know what you're doing here. But until then, just a bunch of question marks about Aaron Glenn, man.
Ryan, you're certainly full of a lot of positivity today. Appreciate you joining us. Tell everyone when the next Gangs Out Here episode with you, Kaz, and Frankie's coming out.
Yeah, listen, Jake, we'll be on later today. We're going to be talking about the quarterback situation for the Jets this week. After Aaron Glenn speaks, we'll tape our pod with Kaz and Frankie. We'll be back today. We're going to do another preview on Friday. We'll have our post-game live show, as always, on Sundays with Frankie and myself. So yeah, and then if you guys are fans of baseball, we have a ton of stuff on the New York Post Sports YouTube channel. We got Pinstripe Post with Joel, we got Straight Out Flushing with John Heyman and Mike Puma. Baseball fans, more than happy to come out and check out our content there as well. But Jake, I appreciate you as always for letting us come on here and let me rant about the Jets in these brief moments.
Love the passion, man. Love the passion. We're all disgusted with being a fan of this team, unfortunately. But thanks for coming on, Ryan. Great job as always.
No problem. Stay away from Kyler Murray. My warning words for all of you. Stay away from Kyler Murray.
Ryan Sampson. You got it, man. Ryan Sampson with us there. Hey, reminder, join the Patreon if you haven't. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Access to the Discord is included with your membership to Patreon. Your name added to the intro. You find out about exclusive events before anyone. And you get discounts in the merch store year-round, 20% off. And starting in 2026, we are going to do a monthly raffle just for people in the Patreon. So there'll be a sick prize. Could be a Jet-related item. It could be just something related to New York sports. But we're going to have an awesome prize specific to just Patreon users. I'll do a monthly raffle for the Patreon crew. So it will include, that will be included, I should say, with your membership. So that's coming in 2026. Been working on this for a while. I've purchased a bunch of awesome prizes. So we're going to start off 2026 with a bang for the Patreon crew. I'll post a pre-recorded video with everyone's name in the Wheel of Champions. And starting in 2026, there'll be a monthly raffle for Patreon folks included in your membership. No additional cost, just a little thank you for supporting me via the Patreon year round. I'm going to get to your calls coming up. If you're tuning in late, we do have a daily raffle for this awesome 8x10 Wayne Corbett signed photo. And for those who missed it, Here are the top prizes. It's Raffle 53 coming up next Tuesday on the show, part of our weekly raffle series. Signed football by Darrell Rivas, signed jersey by the aforementioned Wayne Corbett, and a signed photo of LaDainian Tomlinson scoring a touchdown in the playoffs for the New York Jets against the Patriots. So those are the three prizes in the weekly series. Make sure you gift the membership to the community for your chance to enter, or send in a $5 super chat or higher for your chance to qualify. Let me get caught up on some super chats here, and then we're going to get to your calls. This one is from JR, who says, if LA or a quarterback needy team gets number one, do you think it's still worth trading up to 2 or 3 to get more, or Simpson, considering they declare and we finish at number 7? If the Jets have belief in those guys, JR, then I think it is worth it. I like Dante Moore. I would have no problem if the Jets ended up with him. I'm a little weary on Simpson, not because I don't think he's talented. He hasn't played a lot, right? And history kind of shows you there's a lot of risk when you're talking about a guy with under a certain amount of starts. So, look, I think at the end of the day, if you believe in one of these guys, you got to go up and get them. But I'm way more confident in Mendoza than I am Moore or Simpson. But I like Moore as well. He just hasn't played as much. Mendoza's my number one. He's got the size. He's got the amount of starts. I like the leadership stuff. I think he's got the intangibles. I like that he's responded to adversity all year when he's had it. I like that he played well against Ohio State. That matters to me, whereas Simpson didn't play well against Georgia. But at the end of the day, there's no perfect quarterback prospect. So much of it is the environment you put that guy into. And hopefully the Jets are creating an environment where that quarterback can come in and be successful. The Rooster checks in, woke up and it was a beautiful day. Then I listened to Ryan and I don't know. WTF happened. Hey, he's keeping it real, man. He's disgusted with the team. Ryan, I'm pretty sure, had the Jets winning 10 games before the year started, by the way. He was very big on Aaron Glenn. And you can see that this season has truly destroyed him. Shane checks in. Wayne Corbett, Mr. Fourth Quarter, was the guy. Hell yeah, he was. One of the great Jets of all time. All right, let's get to some of your calls, shall we? Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is the place to be. First up today on the hotline is a man that we love around these parts. It's V-Man.
It's time for another V-Man call. Hopefully he not sleeping. Adios mio.
What's up, Jay? How you doing?
Hello, V-Man.
Yeah. So like I'm looking at this and saying, I agree with you. You know, this is the year to get the quarterback, you know?
This is the year to get the quarterback, I think, within reason, right? Like,
Of course. Obviously, don't make some ridiculous outland. I'm not saying to make some ridiculous, stupid trade. You know what I'm talking about? The thing is, and my points are very simple. The number one is you don't know what the quarterback class is going to look like next year. You have a rough idea. You don't have an exact idea. Quarterback, the stock for these players can drop from year to year. We saw it with Sam Darnold. 2016 ends it on that high note with the Rose Bowl. Everyone thinks this guy's going to win Heisman, lock up the first overall pick. Then the next year, he's a turnover machine. Can't hold up. Like, literally, every time he gets hit, the ball flies out. And then he made way for Baker Mayfield to overtake him. And then we know the rest. So stock can drop quickly. Players.
I don't even know if that is the best example, though, V-Man, because Sam Darnold still went third overall. I think a better example is Drew Allard. Like, it happened last year, right? This guy, if he comes out, he's probably going in the first round, most people said. Now he goes back to school, he gets hurt, and there's talk of him being like a 4th or 5th round pick this year.
That's another better example. So like that's another good point. But I'm saying, like I said, the stock can drop. Players can suddenly last minute say, "I'm not going to come out. I'll stay in college." What you think is going to be a good quarterback class could suddenly become very weak.
That's why I think Dante Moore is coming out, because if everyone's projecting him to be a top 5 pick, why wouldn't you come out if that's the case?
Yeah, I agree. And the other thing is, you don't know if you're going to find non QB needy teams in the top 5 that are going to be willing to trade out. You look at it right now. You got 2 teams who are going to probably end up picking in the top 5 respectively, the Giants and Titans, who don't need a quarterback. So you're going to get that lucky next year? Are there going to be 2 teams in the top 5 who already have their quarterback set that are going to say, "Yeah, we'll be interested in making a deal"?
Do I think Which team would be in the top 5? I'm not understanding your question.
What I said is, what are the odds next year you're going to have 2 teams in the top 5 that are going to not be QB needy, that are going to be willing to make a deal?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, exactly, V-Man. Yeah, that's part of the risk of waiting till 27. It's a better quarterback class. It's like, okay, some of you don't want to trade up now, but you're willing to wait till 2027 when in reality, the Jets are probably going to be an improved football team next year. If anything by accident, right? Like if they finish 3-14, odds are with the last place schedule, some improvements they make to the roster this offseason, they're going to be better than 3 wins. There's no guarantee that even if you want to get a quarterback in 27 with all the picks you have to trade up, you'd be able to pull off that deal if the teams in front of you also need quarterbacks. And it doesn't matter what you offer them. If they like Julian Sain or Arch Manning or whoever the top guys are, they're not going to be willing to make a deal with you. The Giants went through this when they tried to get Drake May and Jaden Daniels, and they couldn't get deals done.
Exactly. That's the point. It's like you don't know who's going to be picking in the top 5. Right now, the Giants and the Titans are going to be in that range. Both of them just drafted quarterbacks, so they're not going to be looking to, draft another quarterback. This is not a Josh Rosen situation where they just say, "Fuck it, let's just replace him after 1 year." So you don't know. And then, I agree with you. I'm big on the Mendoza thing because he's the opposite of every quarterback the Jets have drafted since 2000. Where every quarterback, the Jets drafted, whether it's Sanchez, Geno Smith, Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson, the big draw for them all as players was their physical attributes. And this is not to say that Mendoza doesn't have physical attributes, but the big draw of Mendoza is his football acumen, his ability to process and read the defense. That's the big draw, and that's what the Jets have lacked since Chad Pennington. The intellectual quarterback who can, read the defense, identify where to make the throw, and then make the throw.
I like Mendoza. Again, I don't think he's the perfect prospect, but I think he's got the size. He's got the amount of games started. I think he's got some of the attributes you look for. And you know what I like the most about him? I think he's the smartest guy of any of the options. I think he processes really quick. I think you have to be really smart between the ears to play the position at a high level today, and I think he does that.
I agree. It's you look at the last few quarterbacks the Jets have had, they play like they're chickens without a head. Let's be real. Zach Wilson played like a chicken without a head.
They played like chickens without a head. I see what you're doing there.
Exactly. So we need the brainy quarterback. I don't care I don't care about, him making the Patrick Mahomes. I don't care about him making the Josh Allen jukes or, Patrick Mahomes ridiculous throws. All I care about is having a quarterback that can accurately read a defense, find the spot to make the throw, and make the throw. Because that's all we need, right? That's all you need. That's all we really need. Because that's what we've been lacking for years.
Leon says chicken with their head cut off is definitely Justin Fields. Leon wrote in, good call, V-Man. The light of God was shining on you. I think the light behind you has elevated your call today, V-Man.
I think so, maybe. I'm just hoping the Giants lose out, man. It's at this point, that's all we can hope for. And maybe the Raiders will luck into a win somewhere.
We need the Raiders to win a game so they don't end up with the number 1 pick, because if they love Fernando Mendoza and the Jets also love Mendoza,
or the Raiders could just Raider like they always do.
They could, and I do think with Brady there, he might try and sell them on bringing in a different veteran and trying to win. Who knows if Pete Carroll's going to be there? I don't think he will.
Or maybe Pete Carroll was also known for making oddball for the Pete Carroll era in Seattle was also known. They were known for making unorthodox picks. I think they were known for that. So maybe and the Raiders are also known for making unorthodox drafting decisions. It's one of their biggest traits.
Things happen, man. Things happen. The Raiders maybe win a game we're not expecting. That's not the Giant game. There's still 4 games to go.
I mean, for all we know, the continued implosion of the Philadelphia Eagles could just continue this weekend.
V-Man, good call. Way to start us off today.
Peace, man.
It's time for another V-Man call. Hopefully you're not sleeping. I got on by.
Couple super chats here, then back to the calls. Jesus Jerry says V-Man is at the family crest on the wall. V-Man is at the family crest on the wall?
No, it's just a decorative shield that my mother put up there.
The old decorative shield. Thank you, V-Man. Joe Blewett checks in. Ordered a new computer last night. Sorry again for the choppy film yesterday. I owe you guys. Joe, don't feel bad, man. Bleep happens, and I thought your Mendoza breakdown, even if we couldn't see the play as clearly as we wanted, the analysis was still really good. So I think people still got a lot out of it. But I'm excited for future film breakdowns with Joe Blewett because our guy Sham recommended to Joe Blewett what computer to get. So Joe's going to be like souped up, ready to roll for future film breakdowns all throughout the offseason. Draft season is upon us. Bino says Raiders went into New England and won. Remember that. They did, which is amazing that actually happened this year. Look, I think the Raiders are the biggest threat to the number one pick at this point. They're awful. I know Ryan says he thinks the Jets are the worst team in the league right now. I think it's the Raiders. I only see one win left. I know V-Man said, the Eagles can implode. I don't know. I don't think the Raiders are going to go into Philadelphia and win that one. Houston, don't see it. That Houston defense will destroy whoever the Raiders start at quarterback, whether it's Geno or Kenny Pickett. And then they play the Chiefs at the end of the year. Kansas City, I mean, maybe if they're eliminated, they're resting starters. I don't know. Doesn't feel like it. It feels like the Raiders' best chance at winning a game is against the Giants, who could lose to anyone. You look at the Giants' remaining schedule here. They play Washington this week. That game is huge for Tankathon standings. I had a weird dream the other day that the Jets are going to make a deal with the Commanders to move up in the draft. I think low-key Washington has a legit chance, assuming the Raiders do win that game against the Giants. I think the Commanders have a legit chance to finish with the number one pick. Here's the Commanders' schedule. At the Giants, home Eagles, home Cowboys, at Eagles. I think there's a good chance Washington ends up with that number one pick if it's not the Raiders. And again, Washington's not taking a quarterback, so that'd be a good scenario for the Jets. You can make a deal with them. So we will see. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Reminder to enter the raffle for your chance to win this signed photo of Wayne Corbett. We only have one gifted membership so far, so I'm going to gift one to the community. If you get one from me, you're in the raffle at the end of the show and, of course, our weekly raffle as well. Comments, questions, super chats. You guys know the drill. Right back to your calls after we shout out who got a membership from me. And the person who got it is Useless Bob. Useless Bob, you're in the raffle for one. Yeah! Shout out to you, Useless Bob. All right, let's get to some calls, shall we? Up next on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is...
Chuck Wagon's always cooking, which it takes. Chuck Wagon's even cooking at the game. Chuck Wagon hates McDonald's, but he's headed home to cook. It's time once again for Chuck Wagon.
Hey, Jake, I'm going to be brief because I'm in a waiting room, so I can get called at any minute. But just wanted to say that I've been looking at Jaden Maivia from USC, and I would put him third behind Moore and Mendoza. Definitely above Sampson. So there's another quarterback, I think, if he goes out, that's someone that we could look into.
Jaden Maivia from USC.
Yeah. I mean, he's a 3-year starter. He's bigger than Sampson. Same completion percentage as Sampson, and he has a better QBR. Actually, right now he has the best QBR in the nation.
I don't know enough about him to tell you where he's projected to necessarily go. He sounds like a guy based on the amount of starts that you brought up and based on the fact that there's still an unknown on how many quarterbacks are going to declare that could play himself up draft boards when we get to
I agree.
The offseason process where guys seemingly emerge out of nowhere.
Are you feeling better, Jake?
A little better. This is the best I've felt since Sunday, so that's a positive.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad. A sick Jake is a bad Jake.
Yeah, it's hard to do a talk show when you can't talk.
Yes. Well, I'm thinking of you. I hope you feel better and hope you turn it around for this weekend.
You got it, Chuck. Thanks for your time, man. Good call.
Thank you.
The Chuck Wagon checking in. How about this from Matt L? And Matt just joined the Patreon for the year. So, Matt, I got your 10 weekly raffle editions that we'll make sure you get accounted for. Thanks for the support. The great Matt L is in the Asmaniac raffle. He gifted 5 channel memberships. Trey Parker, Marcus Clark, Fernando Sanchez, Illuminati 1877, and NY Mac 27 all receiving a gifted membership there from Matt L. Let's get to more of your calls right now. Up next is...
Here comes JJ. He's here to talk about the Jets. He's putting Justin Fields in the Football Hall of Fame. Here comes JJ. You know he's Gary's biggest fan. Beast loves cornrows and the crappy Wi-Fi. Here comes JJ. He loves the sound of his voice. Here comes JJ. Most of these calls end bad, so let's get it over with.
What's going on, my friend Jake? I heard you're not feeling too well. I hope you feel a lot better soon.
Thank you, JJ. Has the intro grown on you? Because I think it's excellent.
You know why? I realize why I don't like it. I think the real reason I don't like it is because Beast Breaker makes an appearance in my intro, and I don't think that me and him are synonymous to anything. Like I don't have a history with Beast Breaker, so he shouldn't be in my intro. But it is what it is.
You guys have rumbled before.
I've rumbled with everybody. I've rumbled with Neil. I've rumbled with Alan. I've rumbled with... There's so many people. Rob. There's B-Mac. I think my B-Mac rumbles were a lot more historic than anything I've done with Beast. We haven't made...
Let's go back to recent Asmaniac history. All right. This was an all-timer.
Hey, look, soy boy. Do I need to remind you where you came from, Estevato, with those ugly up cornrows?
You act like a child because you still haven't hit puberty. When was the last time you took a shower? When are you going to get a new T-shirt on? Did you brush your teeth this morning?
Because I look twice as sexy than your sorry ass. You filthy little degenerate. You're a straight up asshole. Have you ever been in a mosh pit?
Answer a question. Your inability to stay focused whatsoever, combined with being 200 pounds overweight, not being able to get out of your house. Do you think that's related to your diet or not?
You really got some balls, don't you, you little bastard?
I'm asking you a question. Do you think it's related to your diet? Yes or no?
I look good. I look just as good. All you're just doing is blowing smoke up my ass, act like you're God's gift to the United States. When it comes to fourth down, you punt the ball. On fourth down, what I do, I like to ram it down people's throats. That's my job.
Right? You're a young man. You're the same age as me. I think you're younger than me. You don't need to live this way. You really don't.
I got to deal with one guy that looks like a fruitcake from the Eddie Murphy movie when Eddie Murphy said, "One of them dreadlocks and they some shit lost."
Even though you look like a butterball turkey, I do love you.
What the hell did you say, clown boy?
Pretty iconic to me, JJ.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't. It's not a highlight in my memory though. But I was gonna troll Gator and make my own intro just to be a jerk and try to get you to play that instead. But then I was like, nah, I'm not gonna go that far. But with that being said, I wanted to call in to talk about we have Jamal Pritchett on the practice squad still, I believe. He's a wide receiver, and I would like to see him get activated to the 53, and let's just see what he can bring to the offense. I just want to see explosive players on the offense for the rest of the year and see what Tanner Anstring can draw up for them. I really like the screens that he drew up at times for the wide receivers, and I just want to see what he can do with playmakers on the field. But I'm like I said before, you guys convinced me, and I'm all on board for us trading up to get our guy, whoever it is. I want us to solve quarterback now. I think that at this point in time, we deserve to have our guy at quarterback and get somebody who we're going to feel can lead this team to victory. I have strong feelings about Mendoza. I think he's a very interesting character, and I would love to see how his leadership style would go over, in the locker room in the NFL. But with that being said, I mean, he seems like he's probably going to be the best quarterback coming out. So why not just go all in for Mendoza? What do you think we have to do in order to get Mendoza, though?
Well, I think the easiest way to get him is for the Jets to finish 3-14 and hope that a team that doesn't need a quarterback is picking in front of the Jets if the Jets aren't picking at number 1.
Jake, can you hear me?
I hear you. I just gave you the path.
Can you hear me?
Unfortunately, yes.
I don't know if you can hear me, but I also wanted to talk about the defensive coordinator real quick. I think that when it comes to Steve Wilks, I don't think that Aaron Glenn is going to get rid of him. I think that Aaron Glenn and Steve Wilks have this feeling that we just don't have the players that we need to run the defense effectively. And I feel like he's going to be back next year. And that's going to be, very disappointing for me, but it is what it is. But do you think there's any chance that Steve Wilks gets to keep his job if the defense, can get at least one turnover by the end of the year? Do you think there's any chance that Aaron Glenn is going to keep Steve?
All right, JJ, your internet was JJing, so we're going to end the call. No, I don't think Steve Wilks is back. I think they're going to get rid of him. I think Aaron Glenn made some interesting comments if you listen back to his post-game Sunday, and then he followed up on Monday and essentially doubled down on it, talking about how the staff needs to be better. Now, he threw himself in that, but I think he's talking about Steve Wilks. The defense, I mean, we went through it with the film review yesterday with Joe Blewett. It's the same crap all year, right? And again, which players on defense have improved this year? Who can you point to that has gotten better? Maybe Jawan Briggs? Is he the only one? I mean, McDonald has not been good this year. He was way better with Robert Saleh's coaching staff. Jermaine, he's been disappointing. I'll give him a pass because he's coming off the Achilles. But the linebackers have been horrendous. Quincy, Sherwood, they've been bad. The secondary, the safety play is terrible. Stevens has been okay. AZ Thomas, unfortunately, has been banged up. We got to see more from him. The defense has been terrible. I don't think Wilks is back. I think based on Glenn's comments of late, I think I'd be stunned if Steve Wilks is not fired at the end of the year. Now, maybe they, reassign him. They give him a different role, something like that. But they're going to have a new defensive coordinator. I'd be really surprised if they didn't. Mike Perez in our raffle for 2. Jake, you sound way better. It looks like the ice bath works after all. That's right. All those ice baths in the Jets facility, Beast was nice enough to send one to my apartment, so I've been living out of the ice bath the last few days. I read the comments about our Jets on social media platforms. I never understood why we get so much crap from other fan bases. Because the Jets are an easy punching bag. They play in New York. They get a lot of attention. There's like an LOL Jets, LOL Knicks, LOL Mets kind of thing that happens on social media. That's the biggest reason, Mike. And look, the Jets make it easy. When they're bad, they're bad and it's embarrassing bad. They can't just suck in silence. It's always a spectacle. Sean with a super chat. Hey, Jake, longtime listener. I'm a lifelong Jet fan living in Virginia. Not to date myself, but I remember going out late night to my dad's truck to pick up the ancient AM radio. Keep up the great work. Well, Sean, I appreciate your support. Thanks for tuning in. Jet fans are all over the country. It is an elite fan base. And I'd argue that there is not a single fan base that gets a worse return on your investment than the Jet fan does. Yeah, we keep coming back for more. Joe the Jet says, Beast is such a LOL Cal wannabe tough guy. Ladies and gentlemen, to respond to Joe the Jet, we bring on the man himself.
You see the bird. This is the 38th special. The bird way. $3 billion will have to be spent. 2 ice baths will have to be installed. We're going to take some money out for the Jets community, but we're going to get 8 new fresh faces. And Steve Wilks has to say goodbye. I'm sorry. He has to say goodbye. He doesn't fit. His qualities are dog crap. His ideas are so pure 1980s. I'm sorry, but it's called We Are 2025. New era, new faces, new looks. Everything's brand new. Everything's changed. It's the world. We're a different atmosphere now. We have many, many different cars. We have many, many different atmospheres. And as a matter of fact, it's snowing right now. Santa sent me some snow this year for Christmas. It's on its way. But we're gonna be just fine. Just play your P's and Q's. And you look okay there, did you? I would make one more suggestion. Go get some Mexican pozole. That will knock you out. That'll give that cold a big right across the temple. Not that kind of temple. That was just a magical fart blasting. That's a good point. But I do not see the Raiders going anywhere there. If they don't get anywhere, they're probably gonna wind up, maybe second, maybe third. But Washington, I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna make anywhere. I think what's gonna happen is the Giants might take the number 1 seed because they do have this thing called luck. Like I guess right now.
Thank you, Beast. All right, more of your calls, shall we? Let's say hello to Doug on the bed. Hello, Doug.
I mean, how do I top that? Do I just start ripping ass right now, and then that's how I top it?
I really don't know what that last call was, Doug. So just be yourself. That'd be my biggest piece of advice, and I think you'll do wonders for this show.
There we go. For me, right now, I kind of wanted, like, if we don't get one, and depending where we fall, you still don't know what happens. There's 4 games left. You don't know who's declared. If I personally like Dante Moore, but and I think he's going to come out. But I'm on the point of we're kind of what the Saints did last year. You take the best player available with your first 2 picks, and then take a quarterback round 2 or 3, and then maybe trade for a 6th or a 5th round guy for a McKee or something, and have him and the 2nd round guy compete in training camp, and then sign a vet, and then the winner the young guy who has potential, or you want to see what they have because they just are an unknown, or the rookie you take in the 2nd and 3rd round, have them compete, and then that's who the starter is. That's what I would like. And then with the 2nd or 3rd round pick, if it hits, boom, you got a quarterback. If not, you had the 3 first round picks next year where you can just go again at the quarterback.
I'm with you, man. Look, until they get quarterback figured out, if they took a swing this year and it went horribly wrong, and they had the 3 ones next year and they took another swing, what are we doing until you get the quarterback situation righted? So you have all these premium picks. If you want to take a swing this year and put yourself in a spot where you can do it again next year, is it ideal? No, but most teams don't have 5 firsts over the next 2 years. The Jets do. So you take advantage of that opportunity if you guess wrong this year. It might be a new regime in 2027 making that decision. So who knows? But I'm focused on this year getting the quarterback figured out.
Yeah. And then, like you said, talent, there's a huge talent gap. So you got to fill the players too. I wanted the mix, and you said it many times. You just don't know what's going to happen yet between now and whenever the draft is. People will get hurt. People can perform better. People get worse. We don't know where we're going to finish. We don't know who's to declare. But with such a talent deficiency, you do need to fill the roster. So I want to do a little bit of hybrid. I hate that we have to do anything after the Patriots, but look at what the Patriots did last offseason. They fixed it on defense with good free agent signings, and then they got the right guys in the draft. That's the way I think we should do it. You said it, we're probably going to sign Anzalone. I don't want him to overpay, but I'd be perfectly happy with it. And then sign a center, sign maybe another guard, and then just figure out the pieces that you need to plug where it's in the draft where you can go best player available and fill these spots.
I agree. Whether it's Anzalone or Leo Chanel, I think linebacker needs to be a huge need in free agency. I want them to use their cap space on spending to fix the defense and then use the draft picks for the offense.
If they don't sign a single guy on offense, but sign a center or a guard, and they just spend all the money on defense, and maybe add in a vet receiver like an Alec Pierce, who I think would be great to get. Besides those 2 positions, I want all the money spent on defense. There's it's so bad on defense, and then re-signing Brees, but I'm not counting that as a free agent. But that's so bad on offense. On defense, you need to fix. The only guys you feel good about coming back next year are Phillips, Briggs, A.Z. Thomas, and Brandon Stevens. Malachi Moore has shown rookie stuff, but you don't feel confident besides the first 4 guys I mentioned, I feel like.
No, I mean, the defense needs to be completely overhauled. And it's a shame, but I also think part of it is the coaching on that side of the ball has been so bad. Like they have again one takeaway all year on defense. That's to me coaching.
It's great. It seems impossible. Like I don't know. Like I missed the backward pass that should have been called a fumble because the game was over. I was just getting up for a second and I missed it. But how Michael Walker just didn't. It's unfathomable. Like you just luck into it, and it's the fact that we're unable to do it. Steve Wilkes doesn't give any originality. His defense is bland. We see this in all the previous stops. I doubt he's a bad guy. He's not meant for the modern NFL. Like you saw what he did with Banjo. He went with the young guy, and it's sad to say literally the only reason you have to watch this team anymore is how amazing the special teams. What a waste it is to literally have one of the best special team units of all time to be on one of the worst teams of all time.
It's wasted. I mean, again, it at least is encouraging that they got that higher right with Banjo, but it's a shame because the special teams. Let's be real. That in all three of the Jets' wins this year, the special teams has been massive in their wins.
Are you also last thing, and then other calls? The thing is like different. Like with special teams, a lot of these guys. McNamara is young, so he's going to have him for a while. Like the Gunners, Stiggers, and all those guys. These are all guys going to be back. Folk, I don't know how much longer he's going to do it. But if he wants to keep playing, I don't see why you don't bring him back. He probably can't hit much past 56, 57, but from 50 and in, you're good.
Oh, yeah. If he wants to come back, Nick Folk's the kicker next year, no doubt.
Like I don't see why it shouldn't be the same exact special teams brought back next year. Exactly the same. And Thomas Hennessy is the longest tenured Jet.
That he is. I have no problem bringing him back either.
No, the best kind of long snapper is the one you don't have to say the name. Like I don't think in the entire time he's been a Jet, I literally cannot think of him making a bad snap.
Correct.
So, hey, yeah, it just sucks that and Ken Iguanu's like we should have a couple all pros this year, but we probably won't because we're the Jets. But we should have a couple all pros this year.
I mean, McNamara should be in the Pro Bowl for sure.
He should be the first team all pro punter.
Yeah, Isaiah Williams should be in the Pro Bowl too.
Yeah,
punt returner.
Jake, have a great day. Hope you're feeling better.
Thanks, Doug. I appreciate you, man. Good call from Doug. Super chat from Mr. Flowers. How would you feel about this signing Kyler Murray to the veteran minimum 2-year deal? No. Draft a quarterback on day 2 or 3 using draft picks on BPA. I would feel terrible about that plan. Kyler Murray wins you 5 games next year, 6 games at the most. I'm good. Get me the rookie quarterback this year in round 1. That's the plan. Get me Fernando Mendoza. Get me Dante Moore. Get me Ty Simpson. Do not get me Kyle Murray. And it's Kyler, by the way. Do people even watch Kyler Murray? He's not good. All right. The only scenario where I would take Kyler Murray is if he's a free agent, you're paying the veteran minimum to, but you're still drafting a quarterback in round 1. A la the Giants signing Russ and Jameis, but they were still going to go and get a quarterback in the draft, which they did by trading back into round 1 for Dart. The issue the Jets, again, are going to run into at the top of the draft, I talked about this with Ryan Sampson. The Raiders are so bad, but they play the Giants. We need the Raiders to beat the Giants. That's our last hope. Otherwise, the Raiders are going to be at 1, and if they like Mendoza, it might be tough for the Jets to get him. Now, the Raiders are a weird organization. Mark Davis is a buffoon. Tom Brady's got a major influence there. What if he doesn't like Fernando Mendoza? Then they won't take him. Brady tried to get them Stafford a year ago. Is there another veteran that could shake free that Tom's going to say, hey, we're better off going with that guy as opposed to a rookie? And who's the Raiders coach going to be? It sounds like Pete Carroll could be one and done. Right? He's 74. Are they going to allow him to pick a quarterback first overall and oversee that development, that rebuild with a 74-year-old head coach? I don't know. Comments, questions, super chats. Cut the line. More of your calls right now. Jordan's next. Hello, Jordan. You're on mute, Jordan.
My bad. I totally forgot. What's up, Jake? Hope you're feeling better. But I agree with the last caller you had, Doug, on the bed. You know, I'm not really in the mindset of trying to trade up for Mendoza, even though I think he did all right. But I think it really depends on how these quarterbacks play in their college football playoffs against these better teams. I think we need to see that first. I think that Mendoza had a decent game against Ohio State this past weekend, but I don't think it's the game to convince everybody to say, oh, let's just trade up for number 1 to go get him. I think we need to see how the rest of these playoffs play out first before we make that decision on what quarterback we want. Second, I think that we should just draft edge rusher, receiver, and then take a shot second, third round on a quarterback. Mayava, Carson Beck, whoever, John Mateer, whoever the Jets like. And then
No.
No?
We're gonna come on, really? That's your plan?
Well, also but like I wouldn't just have that as just the QB. Like I would also want to trade for like a decent backup. Like the Davis Mills. If it takes 2/3 to get him, why not?
You want
At
to
least
trade 2/3 for Davis Mills?
I'm just I don't know what it would cost to get him, but I'm just saying
2/3 for Davis Mills? Really? First off, the Jets don't have any third-round picks.
But I'm just saying I would want a backup like that because at least you know what you're getting out of the guy, and that
do
at least
we?
he can run the offense though.
Do we? Like you're sold on Davis Mills? 2/3
I'm
for Davis
sold on
Mills, and
him.
he's your starter. That's a big investment.
Yeah, it is, but it's better than just relying on a rookie. This team isn't ready for a rookie to come in.
They're
and
not
play.
going to rely on a rookie. You're going to add a rookie in addition to at least one, if not two, veterans.
But why trade for a guy that hasn't proven anything? Where
None of them have proven it. It's a crapshoot, but you need a quarterback.
Exactly my point. At least he could come in, run the offense, and give us a chance. Compared to some of the
2/3
guys,
for Davis Mills is asinine.
I'm not saying that it has to be a third or 2/3, but at least something for somebody with at least starting
So sign
experience.
Gardner Minshew, re-sign Tyrod Taylor, so you have two veterans, and then go out there and get your quarterback in the first round this year. That's what the Giants did with Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston.
Yeah, but the thing is, some of these quarterbacks that are under contract could give us a better upside compared to a Gardner Minshew or these guys that are in free agency right
So
now.
who do you want then? You mentioned these quarterbacks that you want. Mac Jones. What are you trading for Mac Jones?
I wouldn't really say I don't really like Mac Jones like that. I think he's a product of Kyle Shanahan's system right now.
Okay,
Because
so
when he was in Jacksonville, he wasn't that good.
So no one Mac Jones. So you like Davis Mills.
I mean,
who else under contract would you be interested in trading for?
I think the backup for Seattle would be decent.
The backup for Seattle?
I think his name. I think it's Will Greer. I think.
What has Will Greer shown you that you think he's worth trading for?
I mean, he hasn't shown us anything, but it was just.
And also, Will Greer's not even the backup in Seattle. The Drew Lock is their backup.
Yeah, Drew Lock. That's who it was. Yeah, Drew Lock. I forgot. But yeah, Drew Lock. I think he. I don't know. I just don't want a rookie to
I'm
come
not
in
trading
and have to,
anything for a backup. The Jets have enough holes. Sign two veterans and draft a guy in the first round, like every other team in the league for the most part is done.
But Jake, the free agent quarterbacks aren't that good. That's why they're in free agency. That's why Gardner Minshew wasn't on a team this year because
he is on a team. He's the backup to the Kansas City Chiefs franchise quarterback. His name is Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Well, Jordan, thank you for the time. I don't have the patience anymore. Good God, you've had some brutal calls the last few times. What was the one last week when you were talking about? That call made me sick. Oh my God. Well, what are we doing, man? You want them to trade for a backup? Just sign a backup. It only costs you money, which you have cap space. Why are we trading any assets for any backup quarterback? There's no point. There's no point whatsoever. Whether your quarterback is Drew Lock or it's Gardner Minshew, you're winning the same amount of games that they have to play the majority of the year. You add some veterans, so if the rookie's not ready to play, he doesn't have to play right away. But if you're making the investment to get Dante Moore or Fernando Mendoza, that guy's going to play sooner rather than later. That's how it works. And I love this team is not a quarterback away. No one's saying they are, but you need a quarterback or you have nothing to talk about with your team. Seriously. Were the Texans a quarterback away when they added C.J. Stroud? Were the Commanders a quarterback away when they added Jaden Daniels? Were the Patriots a quarterback away when they added Drake May? Right? Like Drake May in his rookie year was on a team that didn't win a lot of games. But then by year 2, they got the right coach, and now they're maybe going to be the 1 seed in the AFC. You need to get the quarterback on your team. And if you look at the starters in the NFL, most of them were first-round picks. There's exceptions. Philadelphia's quarterback was in the second round. Dallas's quarterback was a fourth-round guy. But most of the quarterbacks that are starting for teams right now are former first-round picks. Buffalo, Miami, New England, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Washington, Chicago, Detroit, Green Bay, Minnesota, Houston, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Atlanta. Penix is out, but he was a first-round pick. Carolina, Tampa. Murray's out, but guess what? When he was playing, he was a first-round pick. Most of the starters are first-round guys. Just go through it. You need a quarterback. It's a crapshoot, but your odds of getting the quarterback right are higher if you take one in round one than if you wait till taking a dart throw on day 2 or day 3. Comments, questions, super chats. Adam is next.
Adam is cool, although kind of basic. He claims he's too cool, though often quite basic. He makes great jet points, looks a little basic. Adam is cool, too cool, but basic. Some would say generic.
Adam, I can't hear you. Something's wrong with your mic, Adam. Call back in because we can't hear you. B Heights is next. Hello, B Heights.
Jake, what's going on, my man?
What's up, B Heights?
Hey, that last call was brutal. I don't know what this guy was talking about. 2/3 for Mip. Come on, man. Like, for that, I'm not quite sure who's a free agent and who's not after the season. But, like, let's just say Mariota was out there. We just get Mariota to fill in until, that's a perfect example.
I'd sign Marcus Mariota, re-sign Tyrod, and then still draft a quarterback in round 1.
Exactly. But look, the other day on Facebook, on the New York Jets largest whatever page it is, after the Indiana Ohio State game, I just jokingly put, trade all our picks for Fernando Mendoza, which obviously I was exaggerating, but after that performance, I was basically like, look, if you ask me, we need to draft our quarterback this draft, and I'd trade our first, I'd trade our first, both our first for this year and next year's second rounder, to move up to first if we have to, and I would draft Mendoza. If you ask me, Mendoza has shown a clutch gene. He went into Penn State in a hostile environment, led the comeback, made some, he's very, he's accurate. He did his job in this Ohio State game. The man is 6'5", weighs around 230 more or less. He's a big guy. He's, like I said, he's accurate. And we have our running back. We'll extend Breece Hall. We have our wide receiver, we have our wide receiver 1 in Garrett Wilson. Our O-line is starting to mend. Those guys are starting to come together. We have our tight end in Mason Taylor. And, you just bring in the kid, allow him to develop, give him the right coaching. And I feel like he'd be able to get the job done.
I like him. I would have no problem moving up for him. I think there's a fine line. Like, I'm not trading away like 3 ones to move up to take him, but I don't think it would cost that. And the key to any trade up, I believe, B Heights, is the fact that the Jets have the Colts pick. So
it's getting better a week.
Yeah. So you put your own first, the Colts pick, and trade one of your 2-2s this year. That to me should be enough to move from 4 to 1 to get your quarterback you want. Might not even take that, but I think the Colts pick has so much value if it ends up being, let's say, pick 15. B Heights, your internet was crapping out there, so we lost you. But again, if they believe in Mendoza, then trade up and get him within reason. But people act like what's so annoying with the trade up conversation is we're not a quarterback away. How could we trade all our assets? I'm a moron who doesn't understand nuance. You could walk and chew gum at the same time. You could trade up for your quarterback and still have a lot of resources to build your football team. The draft comes after free agency, where the Jets have $100 million in cap space. So between that and the fact that even if you did a trade up, you still would have an extra second this year, right? And then next year, you still would maintain the 3 1s in 2027. If that is not enough over a 2-year span to get your goddamn roster figured out, then Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn aren't very good at their jobs. If $100 million in cap space and a second and then 3 1s in 2027 isn't enough over 2 years here to build around Fernando Mendoza or Dante Moore, then what are we talking about? And your quarterback will elevate players on your team if you got the pick right. You don't have a perfect football team for your quarterback to walk into. That never happens. What the Jets do already have in place, though, is encouraging, right? You already have a left and right tackle you really like. You already have a number 1 wide receiver. I think you have a legit starting tight end, a Mason Taylor. I think you bring back Breece Hall, so you feel good about your running back situation. Whoever the quarterback is, they're stepping into a better situation than Zach Wilson or Sam Darnold stepped into immediately. That's a fact. People act like if you trade up, then you have nothing left to put the quarterback in a position to have a chance. And I just vehemently disagree with that. Again, you could walk and chew gum at the same time. It's not one or the other. It's not trade up and then we have nothing, or we stick and pick and build the team, and that's the only way to do it. You could do both. If you love one of these quarterbacks and you're picking in the top 5 and you're in position to get one of them, then guess what? You have to do it. Some of the best teams in the league traded up to get their guy. Some of the best quarterbacks in the league were trade ups. That's how it all happened. More of your calls. Adam, let's see if we hear him this time. Hello,
Sorry
Adam.
about that. Like when I get a phone call on StreamYard, it craps out the audio. So that's on me. Sorry about that.
All good.
Okay, so I think the only time I've seen Muji reach was for Arian Smith, right? When has he reached? When is he like overbought?
Tyler Barron, I guess, didn't they trade up for him too?
Like 5th round, I guess. Still, like I think Arian Smith was even more of a reach when you think about it. But
yeah, Arian Smith was the biggest reach. He made by far.
So my thinking is if Muji is going to trade up, he's not going to be ripped off in the process. And you know, I'm a Hoosier alum, so I'm very biased towards Mendoza. I think he's terrific. I don't think it's in the cards for us. I think the price is going to be too high because if he keeps performing, the price is just going to get higher. And there are so many teams that are going to like the same things we like about him. And I think someone's going to overpay. And I don't think Muji will be the one that does it. He'll let someone else overpay, which will be good. So I'm going to temper my expectations that my favorite QB is going to be a part of the Jets. So we'll see. What do you think, though? I don't think Muji's going to overpay. He's not that desperate.
Well, I mean, define overpay. Like, could they exceed whatever the quote-unquote trade value chart is? I think so. I don't think they're going to trade 3 or 4 first-round picks to move from 5 to 1.
Correct.
I don't think they'll do that. I think there'll be a limit, but I do think they're going to be willing to be more aggressive to draft a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at that chart that you just shared, which is awesome, which was like the 7 picks that we have in the first 2 rounds. That's like 1/7, 1/8 of our roster could be young, cost-controlled, elite talent. And that doesn't even include the day 2, like the day 3 picks. So, like, I don't know if you really give up those assets when you're trying to do a youthful rebuild like this. I don't see it, but
you don't trade all of them. But if you have to trade some of them, that was the whole point of making the Sauce and Quinnen deal. So you're in position to get your quarterback.
Yeah, and it was also to offload the salary as well. That allows you to make more, surgical decisions in free agency. So
yeah, but the salary wasn't a concern, right? They're the ones who paid Sauce. They traded him because they got 2 first-round picks for him.
Yeah, you're right. It wasn't one or the other. Good point. So going back to the coaching, I know we're talking about, I think we're probably going to let Wilkes go. What are we going to do to retain Banjo? That's actually a more interesting question. Why would Banjo stick around?
Because he's under contract.
I mean, how many years is he on contract for?
I don't know, but you don't just poach a special teams coordinator. Like if teams requested to speak with him, the only way he'd be allowed to leave is if he got a promotion, which would be what
Interesting.
a head coach.
Does he have an assistant head coach title? Anyway,
I don't know if he does, but that'd be one way to keep him. That's what the Broncos did with Jim Leonard. They gave him an assistant head coaching tag.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, moving on from that. And then I guess the other question I have is actually one point and then another question. I think when we look at the defensive performance, like how do we ignore the fact that Brownlee wasn't playing? I think Brownlee's been so impactful on the defense. Like the defense really changed when he joined. Did you observe that too?
I look at clearly that his impact is felt when he's not there, which I think is alarming considering the fact that he was brought in at the end of September. And if he's that important to your defense, that kind of sheds a light on how flawed your defense is to begin with and how poorly coached I think the Jet defense has been all year.
Yeah, I know we were talking about like, did the defense get better just because of the roster additions, and it really wasn't the coaching? And I think we're starting to see the answer. I think it's pretty clear that it is the coaching, and it's good that again I'm a pro Muji camp person. I think he's done everything right so far. He really hasn't swung and missed of any significance, so I'm really happy about that. And I guess the other question I had on coaching was like Tanner, right? Like Tanner was saying he likes to, he was saying in the beginning of the season that his playbook and his offensive schemes were based on the talent of his of his team. Do you feel like is he holding his players back and not having them stretch and try and do more things? Is he kind of limiting himself to what he sees, or is it really just like or is it really a talent deficiency? Like, how do you assess Tanner at the end of the season? Like, what are you looking for at the end?
It's going to be tough to assess him if Brady Cook is starting these last 4 games. I think he's been okay. I think if you go back and you watch some of the all 22, there's guys getting open. And they've had horrific quarterback play. I think there's been some innovation with some of the stuff they have done. Again, I don't think he's going anywhere. So I think getting him a quarterback is the best way to assess him. I don't think we're going to get a clear evaluation of him after just the season. I think he's been okay. I don't think he's been as bad as what the Jets record ultimately is. I think it's easier with Wilkes, who's been in the league forever, and the defense is terrible. They don't have a turnover besides one all year. Whereas Engstrand, you would think, hey, first full opportunity to be a play caller. He'd be better in year 2 with a better roster, better quarterback play that he's working with going forward.
Yeah, and then with the whole Brady Cook thing, I think it all makes sense. I think the stars all aligned. As we were as you guys were talking about how like Fields is checked out, play Brady Cook for the rest of the season. If it means we lose every game, is that really going to break our hearts at this point?
No, I'm rooting for losses at this point. A win with in any of these games does nothing for me.
It's starting experience for what could be a very cheap long-term backup that's young. I mean, Davis Mills didn't start out competent. He spent a lot of years sitting on the bench and taking it on. So maybe Brady Cook could be that guy. We don't have to go fish for a veteran backup necessarily if Brady Cook shows enough to invest in.
Brady Cook maybe could play well enough where he's the 3rd stringer next year, but that's probably about it.
Yeah, but I guess on to Jacksonville, and who wants to lose with the New York Jets?
12.5-point underdogs are the New York Jets, Adam, against the Jaguars. Think about that. 12.5 points against a Jaguars team the Jets actually beat last year. Think about that. Hey, happy birthday to Bill M., who's one of our longtime commenters in the chat. Home stretch here. If you want in on the raffle, it's a great one today. It's a signed Wayne Corbett photo. It will look good in your Jet man cave, people. So keep that in mind if you're just tuning in. Get in on the raffle. More of your calls right here before we get to that raffle. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time.
The biggest mistake they made is not firing this whole crew of shitheads before the season started. The coaches can't make decisions. They don't correct anything. I mean, this is a joke.
Hey, Jake.
Hello, Peter.
I hope you're feeling better.
I'm doing a little better today, that's for sure. I could talk without having like a shortness of breath, so that's a good sign.
Well, listen, after listening to the half of these callers, this is what it comes down to. It's plain and simple. Very simple. If Mendoza is there and they want him, they have identified him as the best guy in the draft, they should make an attempt to go get him. If the Raiders are in front of us and they won't trade, then it's either Dante Moore or Ty Simpson. They have to get a quarterback in here. They have to. And
agreed.
Most of the reason that they have to is because the quarterback play is so bad on the Jets, it's making the whole team look bad. I mean, we were behind 21-0 in 5 minutes last week. And they're running the ball all over us. You can't game plan against that kind of stuff. And then we're 3 and out. We get the ball, we're 3 and out, or we throw a pick. The defense is going to go to sleep. I mean, and basically that's what they're doing. You have to have a quarterback. I don't care. Straight up, you can get all the guys you want. If you don't have a quarterback, you're winning nothing. Nothing.
Well
That's what I
said.
have to say, Jay.
That's where it all starts. Like I feel like this team actually has some pieces for whoever that quarterback is. Unlike what Sam stepped into or Zach Wilson. Like the offensive line's pretty good. The receiving room, while they certainly need another addition there, I think if you're starting with Garrett Wilson, Mitchell, Mechie, Taylor at tight end, Brees, let's assume he's back. I think he will be. Like that's not nothing for any young signal caller. Like again, compare what the Patriots have for May versus what the Jets currently have is not as different as you would think. Like you need the quarterback. The quarterback can elevate the rest of your team. There's no perfect roster for any quarterback, but you need competency at the position. If you like one of these guys, you got to get them. Like people act like it's either get the quarterback and then have nothing around quarterback or build the roster and don't have the quarterback. You could do both at the same time. That's the whole point.
Exactly. Look at the Bengals. Without Burrow, how good are they? They're terrible. Take Mahomes out of Kansas City. They stink. They're not going to be good. I mean, if you don't have the quarterback, you have nothing. You have zero. And we have zero for the last 10 years. Zero. So I would go get that quarterback. He'd be first on my list of things to get because you have to have a quarterback that could put some kind of fear in other teams' defenses, that could throw a pass that in between players and make, great close catches and stuff like that and gets rid of the ball right away. You need it. You have to have it. If you don't have it, you're not winning.
Well said. I mean, you either have a quarterback or you don't in the NFL.
Exactly. And you're not winning without one. Look at all the lousy teams. They all got lousy quarterbacks.
It's true. And look, you need a coach as well, but Glenn's not going anywhere. So, we got to hope he improves. But at the same time, no matter who the coach is, if that coach doesn't have a quarterback, it won't matter. So if they believe in Fernando Mendoza, if that's their guy, go up and get him. And hopefully the Raiders don't love him if they're picking at number 1, because then it could be tough.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. It's going to be between Dante Moore and Mendoza.
Correct.
And I think either one of them are good quarterbacks.
I like both. So if they feel the same about either one, then you got to go and get them.
But all the rest of the talk with Tyler Murray and the trade, don't do that stuff. Get a backup, a bridge quarterback that you could pay, and it's not going to cost you draft choices or anything. Let this kid sit for a year and get another quarterback in there. Tyrod Taylor, maybe if he can stay. He stinks though. He can't see. He didn't even get hit last week, and he was out of the game.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know, Jake. I just think they have to get a quarterback, somebody that's good. Put him in by the 7th or 8th game next year. Let him watch a little bit and see how good he is. Unless he's that good that you could put him in sooner, which could be the case.
Which is probably going to happen because every time we say, let the rookie sit, how often does that actually happen in today's NFL?
It doesn't. It doesn't happen. Anyway, I think we should all relax. We got quite a while to go before this is all settled with where we're picking. And there's going to be a couple more quarterbacks that shoot up the charts before the draft. And, we have our eye on, I think, the right group of guys.
That's right.
And I think we're going to be close enough to get one of them.
From your lips to God's ears, ladies and gentlemen, the great Peter Castro.
Weed, this is for you. Oh, shit.
Great call from Peter. All right, I'm counting raffle names here. So I'm going to play a short clip. We'll come back with the Asmaniac raffle. Also got a few more super chats to get caught up on. So we will be right back. We got the raffle still to come. Make sure you enter for your chance to win. But right now, let's pause because Gator and JJ are going at it. So I figured it'd be a good time to go back and reminisce on a war that seems to be going absolutely nowhere.
It's your boy JJ checking in, man. Gator talking kind of spicy, like I'm supposed to be afraid of him. I ain't afraid of you. Yeah, man. Y'all already know what it is. I had to come out of retirement for this one. Yeah. Look, I ain't worried about Gator, but he worried about me. He got a big old fat belly cause he love to eat. Man, instead of making videos, hit the gym. JJ versus Gator, man, y'all know who gon' win. I can't even lie, your videos is kinda dope. And from day one, you brought value to the show. But you did it to yourself when you started this beef. You need to watch what you say and watch what you eat. Watch what you say and watch what you eat. You need to watch what you say and watch what you eat. Watch what you say and watch what you eat. You got a big old fat, a big fat belly. Watch what you say and hey, watch Gator, what you eat. You's a hater. Hey Gator, you's a hater. Hey Gator, me watch what you say and watch what you eat. Hey Gator, go get a trainer. Hey Gator, go get a trainer. Hey Gator, you's a hater. You need to watch what you say and watch what you eat. Yeah, y'all already know what time it is. JJ checking in, man. You's a hater. Shout out to Gary, man. Shout out to Allen. Asshole Army. He the Negative Jets fans, baby. The OGs. Dave Berger, I see you. Peter Castro, I see you. June the GM, what up, baby? Jay Quest. Big fella. King Lowski. Mr. Bonesy. Dre, where you at? 28 touchdowns. Kinda long, stay in school. The kids of the future. Y'all already know what it is. Bobby Midnight, what up, baby? Everybody go tune into that Bobby Midnight show. He go live every day. Yeah, man. He need to watch what he say and watch what he eat.
You made a song about me.
He's back! JJ checking in, man. I had to come out of retirement for this one, yeah. Props to my boy Allen for holding my punk ass in his man uterus. Yo, ain't worried about Gator, but he worried about me. Just wait till I get out of this belly, cause I need to shit and pee. Man, instead of making videos, you should hit the gym. When I get out of here, I'm gonna put a guy named Jim up my butt, cause I like things in my butt, all kinds of things. Remember Ryan Fitzpatrick? He gave me a candy cane, then I took that candy cane, I put it in my butt. I love all kinds of things in my butt, that's what I do. I put things in my butt. I love things, I put things in my butt. Oh yeah, put things in my butt. Yeah, JJ out.
Remember that war? Well, based on the chats between JJ and Gator, it has certainly continued. A couple super chats here before we do this raffle. Last chance to get in on the show. I realized I took away the pinned call-in link, so I'm going to repost it right now for people. All right, it's in the live chat for those of you who are tuned in. Everyone hit the like button too. We're low on likes right now, only 142, and we have almost 300 people watching live. John in the raffle for 2 with a super chat here. He says, Jake, we're not going to be in position to draft Mendoza, and I don't want to give up picks. We need a lot. Draft BPA first round, draft the quarterback in round 2, draft a quarterback again next year if they bust. John, I disagree with you. Why wouldn't they be in position to draft Mendoza? Where do you think the Jets are going to be picking? I think they're going to finish 3-14. You're going to be in the top 3 or 4. You're not? Why wouldn't you be in position to move up to number 1 to get Mendoza if you believe in him? Now, if the Jets are at 7 and they have to give up a lot to move up to number 1, okay, I'll listen to it. But based on some of the mocks we've seen, the cost to move up has been the Colts pick and a second rounder. Like, that's not a lot. If the Jets do the mock that ESPN has out today from Field Yates or the one from Matt Miller 2 weeks ago, if they traded the Colts first rounder and one of their 2s this year, they still would have 3 1s in 2027. That's not enough to build your team, John? Really? Like, I think people, when they say they don't want to trade up for a quarterback, they think they have in their mind trading up costs more than what it actually would. So I vehemently disagree with you. I'm getting my quarterback this year. I'm not waiting till 2027. Bino. Muji and AG cannot punt on quarterback in 26. They won't survive into 27. Picks me nothing. Go get the quarterback. Not you, me, or Gary, and Briga's referee can change that. Got to get the quarterback if there's one there you like. You don't just take one to take one, but I find it hard to believe the Jets won't like either Mendoza or Moore as a guy they think they can win with. I just don't think that the Jets are gonna go into next year with a bridge option and like some day 2 or day 3 pick and try and sell to us that they're headed in the right direction. I think that's incredibly tough to try and do. The best path for the Jets, though, is to finish 3-14. Some of you might not like hearing that. I get it. If you're going to root for wins, you root for wins. It will have no impact on the actual result. But the way to get a quarterback and still have plenty of leftover picks is it's easier to move up from 3-1 than it is 7-1 as far as what it would cost you. So the less you have to give up, the better. Put you in position to get a quarterback and still having all these premium resources left over. So keep that in mind. Jordan writes in, Jets drafting a QB at 1 is dumb. How many graphics have you shown that the number 1 picks don't work out? Yeah, and they also are plenty who have worked out. Again, if you believe in one of these guys, Jordan, you have to get them. If you want to wait for one to come to you, that's fine. But you suggested trading 2 third-round picks for Davis Mills. How does that make any sense? Big fella with a $5 super chat, he writes in, makes a good point. I also think people who don't want to trade up don't account for all the cap room we have. JJ versus Gator, a war for the ages. I wasn't expecting them to go at it today, but God, are they going at it? They are really going at it. Hey, last chance to get in on the raffle. The Wayne Corbett signed photo is the top prize. You could be like Big Fella and enter with that super chat. Are we ready for the Asmaniac raffle? I know I am because I am all stuffed up here dealing with this cold and I need more medicine. So let's bring on to announce the raffle, Bruce Fluffer.
You can kiss my big, big ass. Woo! That's Michael, the next Michael Buffer. Now, let's get down to the wheel for the wheel of champions.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Oh, yeah, baby. Here we go. Where's my music? There it is. All right. Got a couple last-second super chats that came in here. So, Ralphie, I just put you in for one with this one. If you end up in the top 7, you have to go for the quarterback because the GM/coach combo won't be allowed to pick at a higher spot. They'd be fired if it happens again. Yeah, the wait till 2027 people don't realize that if the Jets win more games in 2026, which they should, right? Like as bad as the Jets are this year, if they finish with 3 wins, there's a strong likelihood they're going to win at least 4 or more in 26. They're not guaranteed a chance at a 2027 quarterback. If they have, let's say, 8 wins through 2 years, right? 3 wins, and then let's say they win 6 in 2026. So that'd be 9 wins through 2 years. Are they locked in to 27? I don't know. Most Jet fans would want Glenn fired by then. People never consider that when talking about the quarterback situation. Jay Petito wanted in on the raffle. Well, Jay, your super chat gets you in. Thank you. Here we go. We got 40 total people that have entered this raffle. If you win, email me your name and your address so I know where to send this awesome Wayne Corbett autograph photo to. Good luck to everyone. Thank you for participating. But only one can win. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Corbett autograph photo is Taylor D'Onofrio. How about it? Taylor's red hot in these raffles. That's like his 4th raffle win over the last couple of weeks. Congrats to Taylor. He's your winner of the Wayne Corbett autograph photo.
Let's go Jets! Let's go Jets! Let's go Jets! Let's go Jets!
Taylor D, you're a winner. Thanks to everyone who tuned in today. Right now, I'm going to go hop in my ice bath. Beast was nice enough, in addition to delivering these ice baths to the Jets over at One Jets Drive, to send me one. So I'm going to hop in one right after the show so I could rest up and be better for this afternoon's program. How does that sound, Beast?
Those those don't look like the actual ice baths. We need the ice baths to be a little lower, like kind of like this wide, and with the ice in there, and you can sit in there. It's gonna sting, but it will actually get rid of all that bullshit out of your system. You tell me how crazy I am. I just took 4 chair headshots.
Unbelievable. All right, fun show. Thanks to Ryan Sampson from Gangzo here with the New York Post for joining us. Planning on being back this afternoon, so I'm looking forward to that. Should be Jeff Parles with us. I'll confirm with him this afternoon. Again, thank you to everyone who tunes in. Somehow we still are giving you 4 hours a day of Jet content, despite the fact the Jets are 3-10 and are headed absolutely nowhere. I'll talk to you guys soon. Jets, 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 Jets.
The Asmaniacs roll, the party's alive. Jake Asman's the fire, keeps the vibe in drive. Fireman X-Jet echoes the air. Jets, 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 we're everywhere. Let's go Jets, we're loud and wild. Born to cheer since we were a child. The green's so bright, we're never confined. As many as forever united we find. Shines a star on the floor with Mr. Bonesy. We're harder to ignore. The songs, the chants, the spirit, the bond. The night keeps going till the break of dawn. Let's go Jets, we're loud and wild. Born to cheer since we were a child. Mr. Bonesy, Mr. Bonesy, it's great to have you, but it's time to get the fuck out, right, Glenn? Aaron Glenn!
I got just the guy to get us going tonight.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the fuck out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.